Python tutorial, Relative Strength Index Strategy Indicator. Strategy indicators consist of identifying trend following or mean reversion asset price patterns. Main indicators include single or multiple, lagging, or leading technical indicators. This topic is part of Advanced Trading Analysis with Python course. Feel free to take a look at course curriculum by clicking link at description box below. This tutorial has an educational and informational purpose and doesn't constitute any type of trading or investment advice. Please read full tutorial disclaimer at the end of this video. Relative Strength Index is a bounded oscillator that measures an asset price trend strength or weakness. 14 days are commonly used for its calculation. Notice that even though 14 days are commonly used for its calculation, this corresponding number of days is not fixed and it can be modified according to your needs. For full reference, I recommend that you read Vélez Wilder Jr., New Concepts in Technical Trading Systems, published in Commodities Magazine, now Futures Magazine, in 1978. Technical indicator is calculated through following steps. A. Average gain and loss calculation. Current period 14 days average gain of positive close price differences is equal to 13 multiplied by previous period's average gain plus current period's positive close price difference, and that result divided by 14. For the initial 14 days average gain of positive close price differences, it is equal to 1 divided by 14 multiplied by the sum from the 0th to the 14 minus 1 observation of previous period's positive close price differences up to current period. Average loss calculation is done with the same formulas as above, but instead with the absolute value of negative close price differences. Current period close price difference is equal to current period close price minus previous period's close price. B. Relative strength calculation. Current period 14 days relative strength calculation of close prices is equal to, and then within the numerator we have current period 14 days average gain of positive close price differences divided by current period 14 days average loss of the absolute value of negative close price differences. C. Relative strength index calculation. Current period 14 days relative strength index of close prices is equal to 100 minus, and within parentheses we have 100 divided by 1 plus the current period 14 days relative strength of close prices calculated at previous step. Great. So let's go into Python PyCharm IDE so that we can study relative strength index with greater detail. Excellent. So here we are within Python PyCharm IDE. In this tutorial, we'll be working within Python tutorial RSI, or Relative Strength Index Strategy Indicator code file. The first step is to do our packages importing. So within it, we're going to import numpy pandas as pd, matplotlib.pyplot as plt, and talib as ta. The next step is to create our data variable, which we are going to name SPY, and it's equal to pd or pandas.read_csv. Then we have the path to the data file, which is found within data directory, and its name, which is RSI, or Relative Strength Index Strategy Indicator Data.txt, as a plain text file with .csv or comma separated values. Index column as date, and we parse those dates as true. So let's go ahead and open that corresponding data file, which is found within data directory. As we can see, we have the corresponding data, which is a plain text file with .csv or comma separated values. The first column is date, then we have SPY open, high, low, close prices, SPY volume, and SPY adjusted close prices, which were adjusted for dividends and splits. SPY is the ETF investment vehicle, which intends to replicate the Standard & Poor's 500 index. This data has a daily frequency, and it's from the beginning of 2016 all the way to the end of 2016, therefore 252 observations for each of this time series. So going back into the code file, once we've read the data, we are ready to do the calculation of the strategy indicator and its associated chart. For that, within our previously created SPY object, we're going to create a new column named RSI, or Relative Strength Index, and it's going to be equal to TA, that's tally package for our corresponding technical indicators, dot RSI with capitals for Relative Strength Index, and within it, we are going to use NP, which is NumPy, as array, so we're going to convert that corresponding data into an array, the corresponding SPY, and we're going to select SPY close, therefore close prices, comma, time period equals to 14. Again, we are including 14 periods for the calculation of the relative strength index, which are commonly used for its calculation, but that number is not fixed and can be modified according to your needs. Next, we're going to print. And what we're going to print is from SPY, and here with double brackets, two columns, SPY close and the relative strength index calculation with it at the previous row. And we're going to only print here head 20 observations. Then we're going to continue to visualize this previous calculation within its associated chart. And we do so with fig1 or figure 1, comma AX or axis equals to plt.subplots. And in this case, we're going to have two charts which share the X or horizontal axis, therefore share X equals to true. Therefore, at AX0, which is the chart at the top, we're going to plot SPY object, specifically SPY close prices, with its legend located at the upper left. And then at AX1, which is going to be the chart at the bottom, we're going to plot SPY RSI or Relative Strength Index colored in green, the legend located at the upper left. This corresponding chart with PLT is going to have a superior title of SPY close prices and Relative Strength Index RSI for 14 days strategy indicator. And the last step is we're going to show the chart. So let's go ahead and run this code file. When doing it for the first time, we click the right button on the mouse and scroll down into the corresponding file name. But in this case, as if I've already run this code file before recording this video tutorial, the corresponding code file name is already stored here. So we just go ahead, select it, and then click run. Excellent. So that opens the running console. We'll briefly visualize the chart. So we're going to minimize this chart. And we're going to look right here at the console. So we're going to scroll to the beginning. As mentioned, it printed those SPY close prices and besides it, the calculation of the relative strength index. Notice that these first observations have not a number within it because it needs a certain number of observations for the calculation of the first relative strength index, which is the one we find right here. So going back into the chart, here we have SPY close prices and relative strength index RSI with for 14 days strategy indicator. Chart at the top, we have those SPY close prices as we can see here on the vertical axis. We have SPY close prices and the time series here colored in blue. Then we have the chart at the bottom with the relative strength index, the corresponding values of this corresponding relative strength index as a banded oscillator. And right here we can see at the bottom that they both share the same horizontal axis of dates from the beginning of 2016 all the way to the end of 2016. Excellent. So now that we finished studying the calculation and visualization of the relative strength index strategy indicator, let's go back into the slides. And as mentioned previously, this tutorial has an educational and informational purpose and doesn't constitute any type of trading or investment advice. Please pause the video now so you can read the full tutorial disclaimer. Okay, so with this, we finish this tutorial. Thank you for watching.